Today, we're diving deep into one of the biggest mysteries in sci-fi horror, the Prometheus mystery. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Space Jockey. That strange, awe-inspiring, massive creature we first glimpsed in Ridley Scott's classic Alien movie. This eerie, fascinating character had everyone hooked, sparking so many questions about the grand narrative of the Alien franchise. But when Prometheus came out, promising answers, it left us wanting more. So, will we ever get an answer to this mind-boggling mystery? Or are we just chasing an endless, thrilling enigma? Let's break it down. All right, let's take it back to where this mystery began. 1979, when the Nostromo crew first stumbled upon that fossilized space jockey sitting in a massive chair on a derelict ship. It was mind-blowing. This wasn't just any alien. This was something ancient, something that hinted at a much larger story, a universe far beyond our human understanding. But you know what's even more interesting? That scene is so brief. It's one of those classic moments where a single shot opens up an entire world of speculation. Who were the engineers? What was their connection to the xenomorphs? And most importantly, why did they leave a ship full of alien eggs on LV-426? Ridley Scott gave us Prometheus to answer these questions, right? But, well, as many of us know, it kinda just gave us more questions. Let's break down exactly why it was so frustrating, and yet so unforgettable. In Alien, the space jockey suggested a larger, ancient story, something epic and cosmic that we, as humans, weren't supposed to understand. It made you wonder, what could be so terrifying that even the engineers couldn't contain it? But by the time Prometheus rolled around, fans expected a full-on reveal about the engineers, who they were, and maybe even how they ended up with a ship full of xenomorph eggs. But then, well, instead of answering these mysteries, Prometheus and its sequel, Alien, Covenant, spun the story in a new direction. We got David, the android played so intensely by Michael Fassbender, and Dr. Elizabeth Shaw, played by Noomi Rapace, who are brilliant in their own right, but their story just didn't go where we wanted it to. It was like they opened the door to this amazing lore, then slammed it shut before we could peek inside. Fans were left thinking, wait, that's it? Prometheus teases the bigger picture, with the engineers hinting at a civilization so advanced they could create life itself. But we never get close enough to understand their motives, their downfall, or what brought them to that alien-infested ship on LV-426. It didn't help that Alien Covenant only doubled down on the mystery, taking us further away from any answers. Imagine ordering a mystery box, waiting ages for it to arrive, finally tearing it open. It's just a smaller box with another question inside, and another, and another. Prometheus didn't really give us the reveal it promised, and Covenant just threw us into another spiral with David's bizarre experimentations on the xenomorphs. Ridley Scott clearly wanted to keep us guessing, but at some point, fans started feeling strung along rather than mystified. So, why did Prometheus ultimately leave this mystery unsolved? Was it intentional? Some people argue that leaving the space jockey's backstory open-ended was actually the right move. There's something undeniably powerful about not knowing. Sometimes the mystery is better than the answer. It fuels our imagination, makes the universe feel more expansive and unsettling. Think about it. The horror in Alien isn't just about the xenomorph itself. It's also about what else might be out there that we don't understand. If we knew everything about the engineers, maybe they'd lose that sense of cosmic terror. In fact, the idea that humans might not even be able to comprehend the engineers' motives or their technology plays into the sense of existential dread that Alien perfected. The unknown can be scarier than any monster. But of course, as fans, it's hard not to want answers, especially when the question has been hanging in the air for decades. Here's the thing, though. The franchise seems to be shifting direction entirely. Alien, Romulus is on the horizon, and series creator Noah Hawley has his own show, Alien, Earth, coming soon. Hawley himself mentioned in an interview that the lore-heavy aspects of Prometheus and Covenant are inherently less useful to his new show. Basically, the Alien universe is going back to what made it iconic, the horror. Humans in terrifying, claustrophobic situations. And, of course, the deadly xenomorphs. This means we might never get an answer about the engineers. And you know what? Maybe that's for the best. Because let's face it, Alien isn't really about the engineers, or even the xenomorphs. It's about us. Humanity. Facing horrors we aren't ready to understand. And the way we react to those horrors. Think about it. When you watch Alien, it's not just the xenomorph that's terrifying. It's the idea of what else is out there. The hint that we're not alone, and that whatever's out there is dangerous, and ancient, and vastly beyond us. Giving the space jockey a complete, detailed backstory might ruin that. No longer be faced with the unknown, but with something explained. Something that's lost a bit of its magic. Really, when you get down to it, that's what made the first two films, Alien and Aliens, so iconic. They weren't bogged down by backstory. They were all about survival, suspense, and characters. And now, with these new Alien projects, the franchise is moving back to that classic formula. It's a throwback to what made the series unforgettable in the first place: atmosphere, suspense, and pure, adrenaline-pumping fear. Of course, there's always a chance. One day, maybe a visionary filmmaker might come along and take up the engineer storyline again, diving into that unanswered mystery with fresh eyes. After all, the lore of the engineers and the space jockey is fascinating. There's no doubt about that. But for now, it looks like that part of the story is being put to rest. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what it needs. Because in the world of Alien, mystery is more than just a plot point. It's part of the terror, part of what makes the universe feel so vast and horrifyingly unknowable. And sometimes, the unknown is scarier than the truth. So, what do you all think? Should the space jockey mystery be left untouched? Or are you still hoping for a real, solid answer? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Flickerscribe if you want more deep dives into the best and weirdest of sci-fi, horror, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and remember, in space, no one can hear you scream.